Hey guys, welcome to a recap of The Bachelorette, episode 6. And you know I gotta give it a title. Girl, if she does not pick Dotun, oh my god, my heart would be so heartbroken. I was going through a lot of emotions this episode. Some highs, some lows. I'm still not ready for the next episode, but guys, Charity has a big decision to make up ahead. She is closer to finding her future husband. But first, let's get into the hometown dates because that's what we want to see. We want to see what family does Charity see herself fitting in. And y'all, I got opinions. I was so shocked. I was so gagged. Charity, charity, charity. Let us help you go out through this process. We're going to do our best. But first, we get our first hometown date, and it is with Aaron. So, guys, Aaron, for me, I wasn't the biggest fan. I felt like Aaron was giving me big brother energy. I didn't see these two being a match per se, but let me tell you, I feel like Aaron did a lot this episode to really showcase himself as being a future husband to Charity. So we are meeting his family over in Houston, Texas. So let's go to Texas, y'all. So at first, when Charity first sees him, she gives him a warm embrace. She hopped, jumped, and give him a big hug, and it was a whole production kissing moment. I thought that was so cute. I'm like, okay, these two are giving the vibes, and that's what I need to see. I need to believe y'all want to be a thing together, okay? Because I still, observing, and I don't see it. But I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. So we are meeting Aaron's family. Everyone, pretty much in his immediate family: his mom, his dad, his brothers, and his sister-in-law. So Charity, she is welcome to the family with food, y'all. We got the frog legs. We got the lobster. Mama laid it all the way out for these two and their grand family meetup. So I felt like Charity was right at place because she was enjoying the food, enjoying the whole moment. Everyone was super sweet, but I was nervous with Aaron's mother because she made it very clear that she does not play, y'all. She made it very clear. She said, oh, she had Aaron's ex in a room for 45 minutes as if this is something proud to do. Like, I don't know why you have to feel like you have to have someone in a room for 45 minutes for a chat. Couldn't y'all just be having conversation? Like, it doesn't have to be that heavy, but I felt like she was letting it known that, she protects her babies, and I can understand that's Mama Bear being Mama Bear. So Charity, she's cute. She fits in with the vibe, and we get to see really how this relationship is about to play out. So you guys, my eyes is all on them because I'm trying to see, okay, where is the romance? Let's see where this takes us. So we get to see Aaron and his little brother have a cute little talk. And it was kind of sweet to see this dynamic because usually the big brother is the one that's leading and leading by example. But it's really the little brother leading the example for Aaron to showcase a relationship that, he possibly wants to kind of embody. So Aaron, he really, 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 really is inspired by his little brother's relationship with his sister-in-law, and he shares with his brother how Charity is this good, sweet girl and how much he cares for her. And, for the little brother to hear that big brother is inspired by him and his relationship, he started to cry. And I'm like, it's too early. I don't want to be crying, but I love the love that we were getting and hearing the love from the family, okay? I was nervous though when we saw the sit down with Charity and Aaron's mama, okay? So, of course, mom wants to get, her questions in to kind of assess this relationship to see how Charity is feeling about her son. So, she is straightforward with it because she asked Charity directly, if Aaron was to propose to her today, how would she respond? And Charity, she says that she probably most likely wouldn't accept, but that has nothing to do with who Aaron is as a person, his character, or reflection poorly against him. It's just that she needs pretty much more time. And I thought that was very fair and also telling in a way, because I feel like we've seen Charity with other men and how she feels already in love with them, like with no hesitation. You can see it naturally happen. With Aaron and Charity, I feel like it has to be kind of pushed a little bit. Aaron is a sweet, caring, compassionate, passionate man, and Charity put it best. There's nothing she could say wrong about Aaron. Aaron is a great guy, and I feel for Aaron a lot extremely in this situation, because I am seeing the foundation of putting him in the friend zone being happen. Um, and that's particularly because, like she said, there's no flaw that she could really point out to. So why does Charity not see him as a future husband? And it's just because she doesn't have those same feelings as he does in the capacity in a romantic way. I feel like she cares and feels for him more as a friend, if anything else. And I feel for Aaron because he hasn't brought anyone home to meet his family in over 10 years. So, of course, this is not a situation that he takes very lightly. Even he does wish that the love would have been a thing before meeting the family. But, we're here. So you have to go through this moment. But these two, I feel like they have a great friendship, a great respect for one another. I just don't see a romantic situation with these two. But guys, it does not mean that I was not shocked that he was leaving. I was actually quite sad because I felt like he was really getting there. He was expressing, he was being vulnerable, stuff that we love to see from our men. So I felt really sad for him that he did not get a rose and that he was leaving that night, not that night at the rose ceremony. But when I saw the preview, it sounds like someone's making a return. It could be possibly be Aaron, because the way they left, it's like it was super emotional in that rose ceremony. They were both crying. Charity had to hug him. She was super comforting. He was so respectful even to the end to Charity, and I felt for them at that moment. I don't know, maybe it could be a romantic thing in the future. It's just right now it's not as clear as it seems with the other men. So I would not be mad if Aaron does a return. It would be better him than Braden. If Braden makes a return, oh no, 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 no. But I would be so glad, and I will feel like, oh, it's coming from a true and genuine place if Aaron doesn't return. So, Aaron, I do miss you. I feel that you're a really great guy, and I feel like it could be a chance that these two can develop a relationship with each other. It's just I feel like it needs more time to marinate. It needs more time to marinate. Okay, we need more marination. Okay, possibly in the future. So we'll see if I don't know. I don't know how the other guy's gonna do. But Aaron, I feel like you could still have a little chance in this whole situation, opportunity. At least I feel that way about you. Whew. I have to take a deep breath. Our next hometown date. Oh, Aaron, you got to go. Sorry. Maybe you'll come back. We'll see you later, but maybe, hopefully, I don't know. Next, Joey. Joey. Where do we start, guys? Where do we. I want to curse so bad. Where do we start? Because this whole situation is so confusing. So, the hometown date visiting Joey, we're over in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania folk, I don't know about the Pennsylvania folk, okay? So, of course, Tennis Bay, I call him Tennis Bay, so let's get into that vibe. He wants to give Charity her lesson in tennis, and he gets her a beautiful, cute little tennis outfit for her to change into, and they play a little game of tennis, a whole bunch of flirtation. Even I felt like he was flirting with me because these two, they're so giddy, so smitten with one another. And then we get Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe comes in the session and he's just like a cloud. He's just like a cloud. He's like sensing and reading the situation. And then, ugh, when he has a talk with Miss Charity, I felt like he wasn't coming with the positive vibes. Like, he doesn't seem too encouraging of this relationship because apparently he feels that Joey is not being himself. He's not being real. And he questions to Charity if she's getting the real Joey. And I'm like, what do you mean the real Joey? Okay. Now, mind you, Uncle Joe is Joey's mentor. They pretty much have the same name, Uncle Joe, Joey. So Joey puts a lot of weight to what Uncle Joe has to say. And, Uncle Joe, he feels that they share similar traits. And, like any other person that's in your life, they kind of want you to avoid mistakes that can happen in life that they probably made themselves. So he's actually very cautious, very reserved, highly reserved about proceeding further with this relationship for these two. So when Uncle Joe had a talk with Charity and said all these things to her, of course our girl Charity was gagged. She was so hard. Her face, I felt it. Her face was so heartbroken, because she was planning to say to him that she's falling in love. We see it. They love each other, okay? So I felt for her in that moment because she's like, the whole time I felt like Joey was being genuine, but how can she compete with a person who has known Joey their whole life? Like, Uncle Joe should know Joey, okay? And if Joey has been raving on and on about Uncle Joe to Charity, of course this, creates a little bit of confusion for our girl Charity. So I was so heartbroken with this because already I was coming into this hometown after seeing the preview that this is the first time Joey's bringing a black woman to, no, sorry. This is the first time Joey is dating or in a relationship with a black woman. So now on top of that, we got to add that you're introducing this black woman to your family. I was nervous. I was scared. But, his family was actually quite sweet, quite nice. The sister was sharing how, when Joey's in love, he's in love. The boy is in love. So I was like, okay, Joey seems like he's in love. But, the conversation with Joey and his mother, again, another confusion, another curveball. She was saying, Joey, are you being the real you? If you're being, she said, let me put out my notes. She says, if you're being the real you, and you are falling truly in love, then everything pretty much should be fine. So I don't know why she throw in all these if you're being real. Why is this a reoccurring theme now with two people really close in Joey's life, his mother and Uncle Joe, saying this, This to me, it makes me wonder, do Joey got a Jekyll and Hyde situation? Like, what are we not seeing, what we're not experiencing? But when Charity talks to the mother, it was a nice conversation. I felt like it was very respectful. The mom, she shares that she really loves her son, as of course she does, and she hopes that these two are following love and it's going in a good direction, essentially. But to me, I was like, Mom, she kept crying, she kept crying, she kept crying, she kept crying, and I'm like, okay, why is she crying? So ultimately, I didn't feel like this was an ideal meetup compared to how warm and welcoming Aaron's family was. Joey's family, it wasn't a great meetup for me. I wouldn't feel as comfortable after this experience. And that is so unfortunate. But, we do get to see Joey and Charity have like a final talk. And it's pretty much essentially like, it sounds like she was saying goodbye to him. Like, She's pretty much like, oh, I'll miss you. And even Joey was sensing things were off because Charity, she was crying and couldn't even make proper eye contact with Joey. So she leaves crying, and Joey feels and senses something is off. And to me, at that point of the episode, I said, poor baby, Joey is going home. He's going home. Charity got out. Literally, she got out from that situation. She was leaving Pennsylvania because that was so off. But I'm like, okay, ain't no way Joey's gonna pass after this. But she surprised us. Ultimately, she gives Joey a rose over Aaron. It came down to these two. I'm shocked, but now I get it. I sat down and marinated on this. So, that night she was going through a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. So she, she's quite fair. She probably wants to give Joey an opportunity to hear her thoughts of what Uncle Joe has said to her to see if he shares the same sentiment. So I feel like she wants to give Joey a proper chance to defend himself before sending the man home. Because if it was me, I would have sent that man home. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be in someone's family and be uncomfortable because I'm black. I can't do that. Okay, I'm tired. So I'm giving, Charity an opportunity to see this out. But girl, you got better options out here, okay? You got way better options out here. You're not doing that. So I was extremely shocked. And also, mind you, I felt like Joey was a bit underdressed in for the moment. Like our girl was slaying in that glitter outfit. I mean sequins, okay? And the men, they were all tucked out. I felt like Joey, he wasn't giving us much fashion. I feel like that occasion required more fashion than what he was doing in that moment. So y'all, we're gonna see. I need to hear what Joey has to say. If he doesn't say it in the final episodes, hopefully in the reunion, y'all, we gotta call him out. I know Aaron's gonna call him out on that because Aaron is our guy, our protector, okay, over Charity, okay. So I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. Right now, for me, Tennis Bay is at a pause. He's at a pause. He's at a pause. At a pause. Okay. But now let's get into our next hometown date. So Joey, he's in pause, so we got to go. So now we're over at Xavier's. Okay, we are at Xavier's, and we are in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. So this relationship is quite interesting. I feel like it's at a high, then it's like a middle, but it's never at a low. So I have high hopes for this situation. So Xavier, he takes Charity out to show her how to knit. And I thought that was actually on brand, very on brand for Xavier, because the whole time he was at the Bachelorette's mansion, he was knitting, and knitting is very important part of his lifestyle because it's what helps him calm his brain down. And I respect and I appreciate it, especially how he was teaching it to her. He was so patient, showing his sweet side. I'm like, yes, Xavier, you better show off, open up, and be vulnerable. Get into it. So we are gonna meet his family, his immediate family. And they too, as well, they were super sweet, super welcoming to Charity. And I felt like Charity wasn't the one being grilled in this situation. The whole focus is whether or not Xavier is ready to be somebody's husband, okay? Somebody's husband, okay? So, what I saw from the whole situation, his sister just love Miss Charity. Love, 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 love Miss Charity, okay? The mom, she had said nothing but like thinking, okay, maybe he could be ready. I could possibly see it, but of course, the family has some hesitations. The dad, he was like very wondering what feelings his son was feeling, but nothing to really question Charity, because everyone sees Charity as the catch. Like, she's the catch. She is the prize. Okay, but what it came down to is where Xavier is at, and I'm trying to figure that out too. So I feel like it's really gonna come down to how Xavier expresses himself and steps into being Charity's husband. Like, is he gonna be there to catch her? Is he gonna be there to do the damn thing essentially? So that's what I felt in this whole meetup. But he does get a rose. He does enough to make Charity feel like he could be her husband. And I'm like, he could. He's trying, but I want him to kind of expedite the whole situation. Given that, everyone is wondering where he stands, what he's feeling, and it was more of a question of him more than to Charity, okay? So I just love that in this moment, in this hometown date, that the focus was not really on Charity. Charity, they already knew what was up. She's a great girl, okay? It was more on whether if this man is ready to break a knee and propose to somebody. Because it seems like it's a shock, okay? And, Xavier, he's a scientist, so he takes things step by step. He's very analytical about it. So I can understand, but it's love. You need to go more, push, push, push. So I'm rooting for Xavier. Xavier, he's another good contender. I think it's quite normal for him to take his time because, they have met each other and it's been such a short time period. So he's being realistic, but he's not pulling back so much where it's sabotaging him in this moment. Before, I was getting concerned and nervous, but I do feel like they're going in a positive direction. And I'm telling you, his outfit, I loved it. I felt like it was giving husband. Like, he looked like a whole groomsman. He looked like a whole groomsman in that rose ceremony, and he, of course, got the rose. So we'll see more for Xavier, but I'm managing my expectations because what Xavier is gonna give is what we gonna get. Okay, baby. Okay, that's all we gonna get. Okay, off to our final guy, and I am so excited. I want to know your thoughts. Okay, so let's get into the next date. So y'all, what do you guys feel? Because for me, this man is the standout. Okay, he is the standout. Dotun, he's the standout. Dot may take the whole damn thing, y'all, because of course he got the first rose in the rose ceremony, as he should, because that date was miraculous. It was that hometown date could have not gone any more perfect. So let's get into his hometown date. So we are over in Fresno, California, and Dotun breaks the news to Charity and share that his parents, mom and dad, will not be able to make it to the hometown date because they're over in Nigeria. It was a scheduled trip, but she will be meeting his siblings and, of course, his grandma. So it's going to be fun. And, Charity, she's along for the ride. So they meet the family and they are nothing but sweet, embracing, super, super receptive towards Charity. But the gag is mom and dad had a surprise for the both of them, for both Dotun and for Charity. They surprised themselves and say, "We're here. We would not miss this opportunity in meeting Miss Charity, their possible future daughter." Because they are so in love with her. So I live for that moment. The mom is stunning. She is so stunning. I feel like she needed like a cute little entrance moment. But I felt like, the whole vibe from the whole family, nothing but love. Like articulating love in all the five love languages. Okay. Woo! I felt like it was so sweet to see Charity in this moment, so immersed in love, so immersed in the love of the family, of acceptance, embracing this whole situation. Because, they do not hold back saying that they love each other to the family and to Charity too as well. I was so in my feelings when Dotton's mom was loving Charity so hard. And I'm like, I hope this is like her for real, for real, for real. Because it was such a moment that you can appreciate when you're getting into someone's family, is whether or not the mom will be accepting of you. And she absolutely accept Miss Charity as being her daughter-in-law, saying that she will adopt her. She will throw her an extravagant wedding in Nigeria. She is ready for this family to get going and get started. And that was so heartwarming for me. So I can't imagine for Miss Charity how she felt in that situation to be well received in that love. And I felt like she was already at home in place because, y'all, let me remind you, her bestie is Nigerian, so she is very familiar with the Nigerian food, the custom, and everything. So I felt like she fit right in, darling. She fit right in as she should. She is accepted. It's completely opposite of Joey's experience. Okay. But I'm like so excited and happy. And Don, he has another surprise for Miss Charity. He surprised her with a car ride over to a drive-through theater. And the movie was pretty much him as a kid and surprise her as a kid. So it was so cute seeing their photos together. And I mean, like, guys, they look like a fairy, like, this is the fairy tale. This is the fairy tale, and I am so happy for Charity in this moment. At this moment, I felt like this is her man, her man, her man, her man. Like, he expressed his love. Is very clear how he feels and what role he wants to play in Charity life. And I feel like, Charity, you cannot dismiss that one bit. That is your husband. That is your man. I feel like I'm gonna cry, legit cry, if it's not these two. But I do have to say my opinion. I do have to say my opinion. I do feel like it's gonna come down to Dotun and also Joey. That conflict with Joey is in her head. She thinks that she's thinking about it. And I feel like, to go through conflict with someone is also something that makes you closer with that person. So I do feel like in the order of who's gonna win Charity's heart, it's gonna be Dylan, Joey, and then Xavier is my wild card. Xavier is my wild card. We may get a surprise from somebody. It seems like someone's making a surprise return. Hopefully it's Aaron. But y'all, I do think it's Dylan first. Joey. It's a close tie between these two because it really depends what Joey's gonna say when Charity addresses him about that and whether she wants to go through with that family, what she experienced. Maybe it was a one-off experience. Who knows? But I just know that, Dylan's family was so loving, so receptive. I don't know. I don't want to say was it love bombing because you could always the first time they love you, love you, love you, but then they surprise you. But I feel like Dylan is so sweet, so protective, so caring that I feel like I, I have to remind you guys. I just remembered when Dylan's brother said that Dylan only looks at one woman and he's one woman only. Child. And this man is tall. That's her. If that's not her husband, I'll be so gagged. I would be so gagged. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what are your guys' opinion. Do we have is there a consensus? Is everyone team Durton? Like, is that who we're riding with? Because I am so suspect because I feel like the production team, they're giving us all the positive. We see everything going well, and it's like rooting for Dotun, but maybe the underdog Joey gets it. Yeah, this is too much. This is too stressful. This is too stressful. I can't. But tell me down in the comments down below what you guys think. Okay, where we at? Where do we stand? Do not forget to subscribe and share to your friends because I want to know what they think. I want to hear other people's opinions about this whole situation going on with Miss Charity and what we think about Joey. So, guys, I'm going to end it to this, and I can't wait for next week's episode. As always, share as much kindness as possible. Have a great and safe weekend, y'all, and hopefully I'll get this recap out sooner because I was really like I was really sitting there like, really? Really? But y'all, you guys let me know down in the comments below. Love you guys and take care. Bye.